So at this point in the service, one of our rabbis will be standing up here, ready to give their Shabbat sermon. And don't worry, I'm not a rabbi. I have no plans for a sermon. But tonight, however, we're going to be doing something a little different. As you probably know by now, our Cantor, Mayor Finkelstein, will be leaving us in several months for the sunny beaches of Florida. It is now the job of our incredible search committee, led by myself and our Vice President, Arthur Nathan, to find our next Chazan, or Chazanit. We are blessed to have with us tonight our first candidate, and one who you've already heard, Cantor Rachel Goldman from Congregation Ner Tamid of South Bay in Los Angeles. Cantor Goldman is no stranger to Beth Yeshurun, as she has performed at the Brachot concert that honored Rabbi Rosen just a few years ago. She has also been to Houston for several life cycle events of Beth Yeshurun members, including a bar mitzvah last year. Cantor Goldman, along with her very close friends, Cantor Lori Akers and Cantor Rachel Brooke, form the singing trio known as the Shul Sisters. They have performed all over the country. She has also performed in such venues as the Hollywood Bowl, the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, and of course, the Barg Sanctuary. She truly is one of the country's premier up-and-coming conservative cantors, and she is held in very high regard, not just from the Cantors Assembly, but by her peers as well. To Amy and Murray, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you allowing us the opportunity to bring in Cantor Goldman as our first candidate. It is funny to note that it was at your daughter Sophie's bat mitzvah that we interviewed Rabbi Fort to be our new assistant rabbi. I kind of see a trend here. Just making sure Nathan is your youngest, right? Okay, that's good. So for the next few minutes, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Rabbi Strauss, and he will have a table talk with Cantor Goldman so that you, our congregants, can get to know her a little better as well. Rabbi?
Thank you, David. Thank you very much. And you know, Rachel, when we were planning out this weekend, we wanted to give everyone an opportunity not only to hear your beautiful voice, but get to know you. Get to know who is Rachel Goldman as a person. So that's my first question for you, Rachel, is tell us all, and I have to say, by the way, this is the largest crowd we've had in a very long time. It is so great to see. It really is. And so I know a lot of people in our community are so excited to bring you as our first candidate. So tell us a little bit about who is Rachel Goldman?
Not a vague question at all. So let's see, I'll start with this. I grew up in what I consider a mixed Jewish family, and that is my father is a New York Jew and my mother is a San Francisco Jew, and it was always an argument what we put on our matzah brai every single breakfast around Pesach. I grew up in Los Angeles, and I have a younger brother who has an adorable 2-year-old son who I love very much. My parents also live in Los Angeles, and I have an amazing husband. Wave. There he is. Now that I got y'all to look over there. And we currently live in the South Bay of Los Angeles, and we enjoy the beach. And I think we might talk about my hobbies later, so I won't get into that. And that's essentially who I am. I am a singer. I am the person who, I guess, allegedly walked out of a Little Mermaid theater singing when I was 5, and I never stopped since then.
And your brother married someone from Dallas, a Texan.
I do. I have drawn a diagram for about 20 people in the past 2 days for this.
That you know through them.
Yes.
That's nice. Well, so on that, what do you like to do for fun? Because I know how busy you are as a cantor. I know your synagogue well. I got to intern there when I was in rabbinical school in Los Angeles. So I know what a great community is. But when you have free time, what do you like to do for fun, or when you're not on the pulpit?
So one of the things that was mentioned was Shul Sisters. Shul Sisters is a trio of female cantors, and we all happen to be the best of friends as well. So our life is kind of what happens outside of our FaceTime that's very constant. We cook dinner together, and we sing to each other's children. I'm also a serial crafter. Anytime my husband says I can't buy any more craft supplies, I think he's telling me he doesn't love me. And we also love to cook. I'm a big person in the kitchen. That's been a big thing, especially since the pandemic. I've got a lot of cooking going on.
I understand. So let's talk a little bit more about being a cantor now. So I get the question a lot, what led you to become a rabbi? I'm sure you get it all the time. Why a cantor? You have a beautiful voice. You mentioned you have a theater background. But I'd love to know, I know everyone here would love to know, why did you choose this profession to be a cantor?
I don't think I originally was the one who chose it. I think it was suggested to me by my cantor, and it was one of those thoughts in the back of my head that just kind of gnawed away. Because if you asked me when I was 16 what I was going to be, and I was going to be an opera singer, and I knew exactly what I was going to be when I was 16, let me tell you. And also when I was 16, I had an event. I lost a very, very good friend of mine to suicide when I was 16, and didn't really know what to do, but I did know that I came home and there was a rabbi waiting for me when I came home from finding out. And then I went to shul every single Friday. And then my cantor pulled me aside and said, we should talk cantorial school. And I was like, we shouldn't, no. And then a few years later is when I decided, no, that is exactly what I want to do. I don't want to sing on a stage as a character in an opera. I want to lead people as myself and teach and learn. God, I love learning. That is something we Jews really love to do. So it all just kind of came together as being a cantor.
What do you like most about being a cantor in a congregation?
Easy. Seeing one of my students daven, that is very easy. Nachas. I love a nachas moment.
No doubt about it.
Lador bador moment.
Yes. It is hard to believe that, for all of us, I mean, I'm blessed to be a clergy. You are too, obviously, Rachel. And it is, we're at that age now where we get to see younger people and get to pass this on like it was passed on to us. And I think all of us, I know Rabbi Ford, Rabbi Morgan, Cantor Finkelstein, we can all relate to that. There's nothing more beautiful than passing on the tradition to young people. What's the most effective ways when you think about what you've done and what you love doing about it? What are the most effective ways you think to get young people excited about Judaism so they'll want to take it on?
Well, first, I really believe in modeling things through enthusiasm, and I have a lot of that. And I love introducing music. I love going around and meeting with my colleagues and getting the newest jams, the newest Jewish jams. And also just, I'm a big person to get on the floor and hang out with our preschoolers and our youth. That's kind of my thing, actually. I love being with the children and singing with the children, and it all starts with our littlest ones. Get them while they're young, right?
That's right. That's right. And I'm sure you serve as a great model for people that I know people can relate to and get along with. I've heard from families I know in your community how much the young people there love you. When you think about the cantor and how much it's changed, over the years, even in your career, in my career, I've seen how much the rabbinate's changed, and I've only gotten to be a rabbi for 20 years. In this day and age, in 2022, what makes an effective, in your mind, what makes an effective congregational cantor?
A couple of things. Number one, I think that it's the job. There's so many different facets to what a cantor is. So you have the High Holy Day cantor, and I think that cantor's job is to serve as a bit of a surge protector for the congregation. You plug into God and let everybody also plug into you and hitch a ride. And that is through coloring a text of our tradition with beauty and life and enduring beauty. And then the other thing is relationships. Individual relationships are really, really, really important for a clergy person in general. That's where community starts, is in relationships.
No doubt about it. I mean, Dr. Wolfson, relational Judaism, and I think in many ways that's how I've seen it change. That it's a pleasure. We are very blessed to be cantor and rabbis, clergy in this day and age where we get to be. And there was a day and age where clergy didn't allow to be friends with congregants. We are expected and we get to, and it's a pleasure. And I think you would agree with me. That's one of the joys of being a cantor. Rachel, there's no doubt we're blessed. We've been blessed at Beth Yeshurun to have some incredible cantors since the merger of this congregation back in 1946. Cantor Wagner, Cantor Propus, Cantor Finkelstein, of course. But I'd like to hear from you. Why Beth Yeshurun? I mean, you're one of the up-and-coming top cantors in the country. And why Beth Yeshurun? Because there are many shuls that I know are looking at you. Why Houston, Beth Yeshurun?
So, real life, I've never lived outside of Los Angeles, outside of Southern California. Y'all are so nice down here. Really, really, this is such a warm community. Not to flatter you, however, this is an incredible clergy community, incredible clergy team, and incredible staff. It's so vibrant down here. You can kind of feel the energy in the sanctuary, kind of peel it off of the walls here. And it's been every time that I've come down to Houston, there has been some bit of magic that I take back with me, and I'm really, really curious what would happen if I stayed where the magic happened.
Beautiful. And I would agree with that. Okay, so you ready for a couple quick rapid fire questions? Now you're going to pick one of the two, and you're welcome to elaborate on any of them or not elaborate at all, whatever you want to say. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Beach or mountains?
Ooh, I would have said beach until I went to the mountains 1 year ago, and I fell in love. I've never been to the mountains before. I don't really winter at all. That's a hard question.
All right, well, don't look at the Galveston beach, whatever you do. Don't count that against us. Okay, you ready? Number 2, Fiddler on the Roof or Hamilton?
Fiddler on the Roof, I'm sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Texas barbecue or Tex-Mex? Kosher, of course.
I don't think I've had Tex-Mex, so I'm going to go with barbecue.
All right.
Barbecue's amazing.
All right. We've got some good barbecue, kosher barbecue people here in the congregation. All right. Miley Cyrus or Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga.
All right, good choice. All right, good choice. All right, last one. Tel Aviv or Jerusalem?
Tel Aviv.
All right, good answer too.
But Jerusalem for Shabbos.
Perfect answer. All right, please join me again in welcoming Cantor Rachel Goldman to Beth Yeshurun.